Man. What is going on, neighborhood? Man, there is a lot going on. We just started this live. Let me see how many of my friends are in here. It's early. Let's skip that. Let's go to that. Let's go to the live chat. Let's see all who's in the house. All right, we're a little bit early. It's early Wednesday. Shout out to everybody that took their time out to come out. Shout out to Seamus, big homie, man, did it real big for me this week. Shout out to Bethany, shout out, you know what I mean, just everything, all the love. Shout out to Babe, shout out to Daza, shout out to Miss BB. Shout out to, oh, no, I want to keep that going. We got a whole minute left to Mr. Brando. You don't like the background, you know what I did, you get the out of here. You don't like the theme music? Out of here. I love this, man. I love y'all. So glad that you guys took your time out Wednesday to be with me. And I know it's early. I know it's a little different than our normal show time. I appreciate you guys making time on your lunch hour to be with me. It's like I was mixing it up right there, right? Boy, Miss BB couldn't be with us this morning. She unfortunately had to work. We have some things to do. We're going to be gone. So we've got to get it crack-a-lacking early. Now, with getting it cracking early, there's a lot of good news in the air, man. I just know that everybody's super stoked about what's going down. A lot of you guys see the thumbnails that I post before I do the videos. And if you didn't, it's a takeoff on duality. We got the former PMs. We got Abadi sitting there. We got Maliki on the other side. I got Lee in the weights. He's got a little bit of information that I might ask him to share, if at all possible. You guys know what it is. This is the introduction. I am Mr. Brando. And she's usually April BB. She's not here. But welcome to the status of the Iraqi Dinar, or the reinstatement of the Iraqi Dinar IQD chat. Now, we're still going to do live calls, y'all. And if I have to, if there's no live calls, I'm going into a straight rant the last half hour of this because I want to talk to you guys about some things that are on my mind too, okay? But first off, in the news, Babe's got it all under control right here. Hey, Sandra, I haven't seen you in a while. Job, good to see you. Sylvie's always much love to Sylvie. Much apologize to my friend. She's my good friend. I love Sylvie. I love IQD chat. She is an awesome person. Yeah, Chris, there's never been so much chatter about it right now. So I guess I'm going to get to the chatter, right, y'all? Quit looking at all this stuff. Okay. Saran reveals the date of the announcement and the vote of the names of candidate vacant ministries. Now, remember what I'm going to tell you guys right now, and I've said this many times in chats. A lot of people criticize what I said. The Kurds can make kings. The Kurdistan region, as small as it is, not just because of its oil, but can make kings, okay? The Kurds are going to be kingmakers here in a little bit. Sarun, backed by the leader of the Sadarist movement, Sadar, on Tuesday, the date of the announcement names of the candidate vacancies. Sadar basically just said that, stressed in the apartment session, it's going to be after April 9th. Now, a lot of you guys are stressing about the cabinet because I put a lot of emphasis on it and told you guys about the GOI. And what I truly believe is going to happen once the GOI is seated, it is symbolism that if you have a fully seated government, there's stability in the region, okay? That's all it is. It's symbolism. Now, it's important on our front that these cabinet positions get filled by people of integrity and of honesty and of some type of technocrat behavior, because they're going to be in charge of millions, if not billions, if not maybe even $1 trillion worth of dollars that are going to aid in the reconstruction of Iraq. But you got to remember that it's the symbolism of it all. A lot of people criticize Iraq. They're slow. It took them 15 years. Well, you guys don't understand. They've practiced democracy in this country for 200 years, okay? So give these guys 15 years to get it right. Never in my whole life of my investment have I heard more chatter or more positiveness than I've heard right now. Okay. Resolving the knot of cancer. Now, Al-Fahad, Fath, and Sultan Coalition had earlier formed a 6-member committee charged with resolving the knot of candidates for the Interior and Defense Ministers. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little thing later on here in a few minutes. That's going to say they kind of already picked 2 people. I think it's 2 people that we've already mentioned, not Fayyad, but 2 military people that we mentioned in earlier podcasts. I really believe they want a military presence in those positions because just stability, just the whole idea of that they kind of know what's going on in the country, and they're technocrats. They're not of secretaryism, which is major, okay? We don't want any secretaryism going on because that means that we're under the old regime, and that means Maliki's in power. And we all know how if you want to shoot your middle finger up to Maliki, I'm okay with that. His BB ain't here, so I can kind of act a little wild today. But I'm totally against Maliki and what he stands for. Now, the World Bank expects Iraq's economy to recover at a rate, huge rate. If you looked at this, the World Bank expects the economy of Iraq and Yemen to recover significantly coming period, expecting the growth of Iraqi economy by 2.8%. Now, earlier this year, you guys remember I told you guys they were talking about a 0.6 rate of advancement in 2018, but that has been boosted almost 2.5 times, 2 times at least, 2 times plus 2 of what's really going to happen because oil is stable. That's why when people are talking about oil, oil's going to crash. Oil's going to crash. I told you guys months ago, oil ain't going to crash. Oil's going to get stable about 60-something bucks. We're going to be fine. The Iraqi government's going to see the need. Now, you guys got to understand, because of all the trade, that's why import-export trade is the reason why you got to revalue the currency. Trade's so important because, listen, if it costs more money for me to do business, you're aware. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let's see who this is. I'm here. You're aware. Okay, great. You're here. Great. Good to hear you. Now, because of trade, you got to understand that the reason why you guys want to go ahead and make sure that the trade's straight, because if it costs you a lot of money to buy imports in, like for food and provisions and stuff like that, infrastructure things that you don't have in place, then remember, that's going to hurt your reserves over time, not initially, but over time. And it's going to be, you're going to have a currency that's way too cheap to feed your people. So remember, the World Bank's expecting growth by leaps and bounds. Now, with growth, that means that there's going to be employment. Employment means taxpayers. Remember, I always tell you guys, no more taxes. We need more taxpayers. We put in place the tariffs. We put in place the taxes. We just need our people to pay them and emphasize it so that we can actually see where we're at in the formation of the government and stimulating the economy, not just on a micro level as in tribes and in cities, but on a macro level, which is the country for them. And then, of course, the stimulation of the country becomes a stimulation of the region. The region grows into what our whole plan is, the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. So a huge note to that is also the stock market. With the stock market coming into play and the World Bank saying there's going to be a huge boom, the stock market's going to also play a major part. That's huge news for you and I that are invested in the stock market, thanks to our ISX investment. Now, a large Saudi delegation arrives in Baghdad. Now, people can say what they want about Saudi, about the whole thing about the guy getting killed, but we want Saudi Arabia to go in there and to make some type of headway with trade with Iraq, because as it gets popping over there with Saudi, and so there goes the economy. The Saudis are an American influenced country, which is something we want in the region. We want people to be supportive of the American idealism of stability and safety. More so is the United States there in Iraq, but for the stability, that they're for the safety, just not only for Iraqis, but for the investment. And that's what you want. Saudi Arabia represents that. They have a large delegation that's going to go there. And when it does, it's going to absolutely try to get more of Iranian influence out and more of American and their influences in through trade. Remember, the way through your enemy is not only to isolate them, but stimulate yourself by having some e-commerce going on. They're going to meet with the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Information, Commerce, Investment, Education, Environment, Water. So they're there to really handle business, okay? This is a great thing for us, especially in the investment. Okay, I got this article from the Al Samara News. Iran has provided the possibility of exchange energy with all neighboring countries. Remember, I told you guys last show, Iran was feeling the heat. Now they're telling their people, don't even pay us. Don't even pay us. We'll trade it. They are feeling the major heat of isolation. That's what I've been trying to tell you guys. Bam, it's right here. Iran has provided the possibility of exchange energy with all neighboring countries. In a statement, the third energy pipeline that is being set up now with America is to be completed before the end of the year. Increased capacity of energy exchange. Iran owes $2 billion in energy exports to Iraq owes that. There are no competitors in this area because the neighboring countries that import electricity from Iran have no better choice than Iran. But as Iran has already told these guys, don't even pay us now. We'll trade it out. Iran is in huge, serious trouble. Parliamentary economy emphasizes the need to bridge the gap between the concerned bodies and the capital to attract investors. Al-Musani said in a statement, this guy's always talking. He said in a statement during a meeting with the head of Basra Investment Commission, Hussein Salman Al-Gahad, press, all countries of the world compete to attract investment companies, but the routine used by the departments related to the investment bodies in Iraq led to the entry of those companies, stressing the need to bridge the gap between the stakeholders and owners of capital and companies in order to attract investors and provide an environment suitable and safe for them. Well, I got an idea for you guys. Go ahead and amend the investment law and make it more attractive for investors. Maybe give them some free tax breaks and some visa breaks, and you might just see a huge stimulation in the private sector in that area. Just my suggestion, but who am I? It's worth mentioning that the BIC was formed in accordance with the amended investment law. There you go, in 13 of 2006, and is responsible for the investment planning in governments with the aim of encouraging investment contributing to the development and process. So they've amended the law slightly to make it more in. Oh, Crew said, why so early? Because Crew, I have things I have things to do today. And so tonight I will not be available. So I have to do it right now. Or if I don't do it now, I couldn't do it. And I figured you guys would rather have some news than no news. So I'm doing it right now. Okay. It's not that anything's earth-shattering. I think there's a few things here that are really worth noting, but it's nothing earth-shattering. I'm not trying to alert anybody there's an RV imminent or something like that. But I did see a real cool anomaly with Western Union. Actually, I'll talk about that in a second. Oh, there's Miss BB. Hey, April. Abadi leads an anti-Maliki movement. Now, you got to remember this, okay? This is why that thumbnail is so important. Abadi leads an anti-Maliki movement to open all files from the fall of Mosul and the massacre of Biker, the leader of Al-Nasir Alliance. The former prime minister is leading it. Now, he has about 78 deputies that have signed the request for the arrest of Maliki. So remember, I keep telling you guys, I'm not worried about Maliki. The people of Iraq are going to take care of Maliki, and the DOJ is going to finish him off. I am not worried about this. This is awesome news. This is a game changer because never before have I been in this investment where outwardness and the upfrontness, the transparency of the MPs have said, 80 of them now have come forward and said, arrest this SOB. We don't need him. We don't want him. He's bad. He's bad for the investors. He's bad for everybody. Arrest him. Now, I think once he's arrested for that, he'll stand trial for crimes against humanity and other things. Now, Abadi leading it, I don't really see Abadi leading it is important because he's a former prime minister, but the 80 names behind it hold way more weight, okay? The 80 names. Now, that means Maliki's got to change his whole the court of public opinion about himself. I don't think he can do that, and I'll show you guys why I don't in just a second here. Now, 3 of 8 Iran waiver countries have cut imports. Remember what I just told you a second ago about Iran? Iran is having a real tough time exporting a couple of their things. Remember, oil was a big thing. The next big thing for these guys is energy. 3 of the 8 countries of which Washington granted waivers to Iran oil have now cut their shipments from the country to 0. Now, again, isolation of Iran. The isolation of Iran is a major key to us seeing them revalue. Remember, isolate them, create new trade partners. You got to be international. They've been working with Jordan, and they've been working with Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, some of the three highest currencies in the region. They want to be on par with each other. Now, do I think that the Dinar could be a derivative of somehow in a later date to circumvent sanctions? It could be, yeah. But by then, I'm hoping that we would establish some trade gateways with some of these other countries, and the dinar will do nothing more than a stimulus to the economy before I'm going to think of it as a way to circumvent sanctions with Iran. Iran is totally being isolated, and that's what I'm standing with. Now, Iraq inches closer to Egyptian-Jordan access. There was a big article with the president of Jordan, or excuse me, the PM of Jordan, the PM of Egypt, and Mahdi in a picture. And they said the summit final communique underlining the importance of enhancing coordination between the countries and taking advantage of the potential offered by the geographical position and common strategic economic interests in order to combat terrorism and confront all who support terrorist groups by funding, arming. Now, this coincides with another article that came out by I believe it was the World Bank or the IMF, that was talking about terrorism and more so corrupt. It was like, how many trillions of dollars were lost every year because of bribery? So don't just think of Iraq being the ultimate corrupt place. Corruption runs rampant everywhere. So it's not something that's going to be diluted easily. It's something that we're fighting on a daily basis, not just in Iraq, but in other countries as well as the United States. And so that's a major thing that they were talking about. The analysts in political told the Montier that this summit is for the restoration of the harmony between the Arab countries, which may have some differences and seems tactical to reach a strategic stage to build a cohesive Arab regional system. Now, notice they didn't include Iran in that. A stable region does not include Iran under the current regime. Understand where I'm going with that. Under the current regime, no Iran. New regime, maybe Iran. Just depends on who they put in there. Remember, Iran doesn't hold the region's best interest. They are self-serving, okay? Which is self-serving against what we want. I told you about the GDP growth. The prime minister receives a name. Now, I just told you guys a little bit ago about the Kurds. Now, the prime minister's already received the names of the candidates for vacant minister positions. Those placeholder positions are very important because of the symbolism. The prime minister says the names of the candidates for the remaining ministries except justice. He added that delaying the resolution of the CAB because of the Kurds. Remember, I just told you, the Kurds are kingmakers, and they wanted injustice for a certain reason. But Abdul Mahdi wants to provide ministries in a single payment, not installments. Now, that's Mahdi's political posture. He could probably pass 2 or 3 names, but he wants to do all of them because my thought process is if he passes all of them, stability, CBI says, you guys look good. You guys look good. In April, boom, let's revalue our currency and let's take this sucker home. That's what I want to tell you guys. Now, huge bomb dropper there. Him holding it is not abnormal. Think about it. If he could have passed it in, he wanted to pass Minister in Education a few months ago, and he was trying to, but he couldn't get consensus. He couldn't get quorum. Now he has all of them except for one. He could pass them, but he's not. He's holding that caveat. Think of what's not being said here. What's not being said is we want to pass everything because that placeholder government's more important, and having that symbolism, that meaning, which has never happened in Iraq since way before, to reinstate our currency. That's my thought process. That's my theory. Okay. Now, the thing that I wanted to read to you guys from the International Monetary Fund was a thing about corruption. Christine, I don't have the ability to give you guys a link while I'm doing this. I'll have to get Ms. Beebe to do it when she gets home. There was 3 areas of policy action: cross-border effectiveness, which a lot about trade, and I'm always harping to you guys about trade. Global challenges, carbon emissions, but that's not the part I want to read you guys. It was this big thing in here about corruption, about how corruption ended and all this stuff. I can't find it right now. I'll send this to April real quick, see if she can post it for me in the section. But yeah, if you get people to take away the bad stuff with corruption, the world opens up. Now, my friend Peter always tells me that sometimes corruption is needed because it makes the world go round. Thanks, sister-in-law. Thank you. I love the background too. Sometimes corruption helps the wheels go along. Corruption is a major waste amongst finance. That's my opinion. Get some transparency in there. Get people to do business with you, and you will do well. Now, Washington is trying to prevent a union between Syria, Iraq, and Iran. Now, who is Syria aligned with? Iran, excuse me. And of course, we don't want them to hook up together. The United States, internal crisis, economic decline, the title of the meeting published. The meeting was conducted by Nazarov with the Australian professor. Several days ago, Israel launched an airstrike on Aleppo. What are the Israelis seeking through these attacks? Israeli attacks on Aleppo show Benjamin Netanyahu's attempt to create a new hotbed of tension to attract his Western partners to a permanent presence in the Syrian arena. You want Syria not to align itself with Iran, but to rejuvenate itself, get terroristic people out of there and the corruption out of there, line themselves with Iraq so that we can get this axis going with Egypt, Jordan, Israel, and all these good people like that'll help them further themselves along and get out of this whole terroristic background. Okay. Now this is also one of the reasons why there's U.S. occupation in northern Iraq. Now, the final phase of U.S. occupation aims in preventing a union between Syria, Iraq, and Iran. Remember, we're not only there to protect the asset, but we're also there to protect the region. So by keeping all these countries where they can't have these militias there, you can't have terrorists there, we're really a roadblock or stumbling block for these morons not to be able to take power, okay? Very, very important. Now, somebody put this post up, and I thought it was important, and the only reason why I thought it was important because I want to read you the final thought. Now, when I read you the final thought, a lot of you are going to say I went off the reservation, but I want you to stay listening so I can answer this. More than 4,000 proxy positions are impossible to resolve by June. Now, Wednesday, that there are nearly 4,000 proxy positions in state institutions, and therefore the question of ending the dossier in June next is a fantasy. The most senior appointees in government institutions are only the Electoral Commission, the Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights, some ambassadors, all of which remain the agency for 4,000 positions. Now, remember, if you fill 2 positions, they'll fill the other 4,000 positions, okay? Or you fill 4 positions, they'll fill the other 4,000 positions. That's why June is not an option. In my opinion, now, that's my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but in my opinion, they're going to fill those positions here in the next month. That's going to release the stability, and that's what's going to happen because you don't have to know that the head of the Minister of the Paper Filing Commission in Anbar is there. And it doesn't really matter if the head of security of the local gas station commission is there, as long as you've got the 4 main positions out of proxy or out of dispute and into, what do you call that when you swear somebody, into swearing them into the position and getting things rocking and rolling. This article is half truth, and that's why I don't like stuff like this. It's crazy. People post this and they put on here, it won't happen until next year. What? Are you serious? Next year is too late. You got all these companies lining up right now to do business with them. Next year is too far off. They need to get their act together and act accordingly. That's why April is going to be a big month. Now, I don't buy into this whole wealth transfer thing. I hear all this kind of goo-goo gaga. The stars will align. I don't believe in that. I believe in facts. I believe in stuff I can prove and show to you. I believe April because of me and Pepe's work, me and Dr. Frazier, me and John's Outhouse, me and IQD, me and Robert and Ben. Everything's happening now for a reason. Now, the launching of the Dinar here in the next fourth quarter 2020 is a substantial only if you fulfill the dinar itself as a whole real rate. It doesn't matter unless there's a real rate. So everything else is just talk. Now, Russian banks join Chinese alternative to SWIFT payment. Russia and China are really struggling, y'all. They're trying to find any way to circumvent the petrodollar to, in my opinion, fulfill their own. If there is a new world order type of advancement, it is theirs because they are about, to me, just the wrong things. I'm not going to get into it because my opinion doesn't matter. Now, 3 more importers cut their Iranian shipments to 0. Now, the next session of Parliament, remember what I told you guys, In the few days, the Kurds region parliament began the session with participation of the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan. The source in an interview, the Kurds region parliament began a session to discuss the law of the presidency of the region with the participant and the members of the Patriotic Union. That was important. Now, here's the article that I thought was slept on. The president of the National Option Party, Abdul Karim Abdan, parliamentary decision cooking outside the parliament. The head of the National Option Party said Tuesday that the parliamentary decision cooked outside the dome of parliament. Now, he says that there's really no need. The appointment of the vice president of the republic is a waste of public money as advisors. Now, who did I just tell you guys all about all day long? Maliki. What is the only position Maliki can get to save himself? Vice president. Now you've got these people publicly going against Maliki. That is key. I'll read this again. This is huge. The appointment of the vice president of the republic is a waste of public money as advisors. Enough said. Maliki wants to be what? Vice president. What is he saying that? Because Maliki's probably the single largest waste of money Iraq has ever had in probably its history of being in existence besides Saddam Hussein. And Saddam was actually way more productive than Maliki was. Even though Saddam was a terrible person, a terrible thing, but at least he kept a currency of a value of over $3. Okay? Now, oh my gosh. We are at the 24-minute mark. Let's see. What do we have here, guys? I'm going to go to so I can see the page. Let me put this up where I can see it. If you guys want to call in, babe, if you want to post up the phone number, I think I'm going to save Pempe's remarks for Friday because it's stuff that we've sincerely discussed about gold, world economics, stuff like that. You guys have heard it. Happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. John's birthday was the other day. Happy birthday, John. Oh, yeah, two things. I called, another friend called, and two people called on Twitter. There was a thing on Western Union that said 1145 point whatever it was to 100 Iraqi dinars if you sent through Western Union. That's what got me all stirred up yesterday. That 1145, we took it to 100, took it to 1145, which basically gave it a value of 7 cents. That stayed true for several hours until somebody sent me a Western Union screenshot online where it was totally different. But that's not what they told me. And that's not what they told several people. That was crap. I thought that was strange. And I also thought it was super strange. Shout out to War Goddess for sending me this. That the Fed Reserve, the way they transfer money, I forget, wire transfer system was down. I think that's what caused the anomaly with Western Union in the transfer system. Now, I could be wrong on that. I just think they're all connected because the Fed being the biggest part of it. However, we've seen anomalies on bank screens, meaning that, like, not bank screens, on rate screens such as Google and all this, but we have never, not ever seen an anomaly on a wire transfer. That was something new. I thought that was noteworthy because that was the first time I'd ever seen it. Woo! I'm crunk today, y'all. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I think this is awesome news. How long have I been on? I've been on for several months. Yeah, Rick, April touched on this the other day. America basically, and Europe is a cashless society. Think about it. When you go to the grocery store or to go buy something, even in a market, even to get a haircut, when I get my locks done, Angelique tells me, give me your credit card. I'll swipe it. She has a little attachment she puts on her phone. I swipe it and sign my name to it. But we are a cashless society, okay? So wallets, cell phones, stuff like that opens up a huge avenue, not only for trade like in ISX, but in commerce and as well as crypto commerce. I'm not a huge crypto person, but it all makes sense. You can't deny the fact that the Dinar is coming, and you can't deny the fact that Bitcoin rises and falls. And as Bitcoin rises and falls, so do all of them. So you can't deny that. And Bitcoin worth $5,300 per coin is a hell of a lot believable than the US dollar backed by zero. Okay? So hate to say that, but it's the truth. Blessings, Nancy. RV now. I wish, Stoney, but we got a few more things to take care of. Babe, yes, boats and islands. This is a rant. Okay, y'all, can I rant for a minute? Is that cool? Can I rant for a few seconds? Okay, I want to rant about this. My rant is, why the heck do people get so caught up in date and rate and not the reinstatement part? You can't have a date or a rate unless they reinstate. That's why everybody got caught up in Zimbabwe. What happened with Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe lopped. They lopped. They screwed all of us. They took. It was a screw job. I told you guys. I told you. Man, Zimbabwe was a head job. We have bond notes. I bought into it too. Zimbabwe was a lop on the hugest, and they told us, and yet we still fell trapped to that. I fell into it, everybody else. I was hoping that it wasn't, but it was. So please don't message me anything else about the Zim Note RV. No, it didn't. It lopped. Any country that is run by dictatorship and crap will never revalue. It takes transparency and integrity to revalue. Even though Iraq is not the most honest place on earth, but they're honest with the IMF, they're honest with the federal government, our federal government. That we need. Yeah, there's a whole lot of political pressure on Maliki right now. More so than ever I have noted in my whole time with Dinar, which stems back 10 years. I hope I said happy birthday, whose birthday it is. Jose says que está pasado con el Dinar. I don't know what that means. Sheila, I hope this information you guys find is good. Remember what I just told you guys about Western Union? Also remember there was one more piece. Oh, there's a huge flyer out that Mr. Fraser sent me. It's all on Iraqi news that there's actually a flyer out about al-Baghdadi's capture in 25 million USD. Isn't that interesting? Diminished Iran, a Maliki under surefire hellfire. Oh, let's go ahead and capture Baghdadi. Isn't that kind of like a triple threat? There's no coincidences that all these things happen at the same time. Diminished Iran, Maliki being taken down. Let's capture Baghdadi. Iran, Maliki, same thing. Baghdadi, terrorists, ISIS, same thing. What could that possibly mean? Could that possibly mean that we're finally going to realize our blessing? I hope so. I really, really hope so. Oh, babe, I'm on top of it as I can. I mean, via the information that I'm given with Pempe and everybody else. He talks to the State Department. I talk to my friends in Iraq, and we are as close to this as we could possibly be without me talking to aliens or dogs or Daisy. I don't think Daisy knows what's going on in Iraq. She thinks she does. Daisy's a great source of information, but Iraq, she pretty much sucks on, okay? Yeah, we are kangaroo cruising with a K. Kangaroo cruising. I know. That's a good point, Red Fine Line. If they were actually training employees on exchange in a bank, don't you think all the bank people would just quit and go buy currency? That's what I would do. What are they going to do? Lock them in a slave trade? Oh, yeah, we're going to keep you. If you're going to be a teller at a bank for $10 an hour, you got to sign this contract, this NDA that says you won't mention currency ever. No, they're not going to tell them anything. Because if you actually knew what was up, you'd simply quit and you go buy a bunch of currency with your next paycheck and wait for it to revalue and then cash your money in and be rich and then be the person at the bank going, I told you, Marcy, to go take your money and go cash it in. That's ludicrous. There's no bank people that know anything. Whoever said that lie needs to have their face slapped. Bank tellers are being trained. No, they're not. Maybe tellers in Iraq are being trained about how to handle the 3-0 notes coming off, the new currency coming out, fills, lower denominations, stuff like that. But if you think in your right mind that any teller in the United States right now is being trained on how to exchange the Iraqi dinar, when the exchange process has been in process since there's been foreign currency, you are absolutely probably mistaken. I'd probably bet you a couple bucks on that one. Just saying. Boat casinos. I know that's right. Oh, I don't care. Hey, Adam, You know, freaking people who give the thumbs down are listening, relying on Mr. They surely are. They're haters, but you know what? It's those few haters out there. Because I get, you know, whatever thumbs down. I don't even care anymore because I know they're listening. At least they listen. Okay? At least they're getting the right. Robert, Dwayne, I love you. You're my brother from another mother, but I got mad love for you. Oh, listen, when I exchange, I'm not going to disappear. I'm going to go totally public with you from time of inception to time of transfer. Now, remember, it's illegal for you to videotape inside of a bank. But as soon as I come outside of the bank, as well as if I can get anybody else to do it, I'm going to tell you exactly what I went through, exactly the process, what I had to do, whatever I signed, I didn't sign. Why not? I'm going to have my money. There are no such things as NDA on exchange. You cannot hide the fact you exchange your currency for another currency because you can only exchange it for USD. That's unique about the United States. I can't exchange my foreign currency for anything other than USD. Remember that. Not here. Okay? I know the boombox background makes me want to just play the theme music all day. I know the DeLorean. Yeah, Maliki, I agree with Sigmund. Maliki knows he's toast. Maliki ought to be pooping double-sided razor blades right now. Now, think about it, y'all. It doesn't take a genius to put this together. They come back on the 9th. They put the positions in place. We still got 20 days to get everything done. They already know what they're searching for as far as a trigger for stability. And I think that's the placeholder government. They accept Article 8 in the same time. And basically, that's why they went ahead and gave the CBI governance a few weeks ago, having that independence, because they knew we don't need one without the other. We just want to have it so in case these people come in, we are able to go forward. Think about it. It doesn't take a prophetic boom for that to happen. It just takes a little common sense. And common sense ain't so damn common nowadays. You guys better call me, because if you call me later on, y'all, I'm on an airplane. Mojo, been in this for a long time. Same news, different names, no changes. I would beg to differ. And if you want to talk about it, Mojo, my phone number is 903-396-9968. I'll call you. Let's talk about it. It's totally different. I've been in this for 10 years, and everything's changed. There is nothing the same. I knew nothing about the IMF MOU. I knew nothing about the understanding of the SBA. Maybe you did, and if you did, call me and let's talk about it. You are absolutely incorrect. No one's ever publicly spoken out against Maliki within the last few months. Nobody. Maliki was feared. He was a dictator and wasn't even in government. He was a figurehead as a vice president. You are sadly mistaken. You know what, Mojo? Whatever dinar you got, just sell them to me. I'll buy them. I'll buy them right now. I don't care if it's circulated, uncirculated, if you got a certificate or not. I'll buy them. He has no concept of what he's talking about. But thanks for watching the live. When RV, brother? Brother, it's going to RV after a few more things take place. We talk about that all the time. Yeah, I've called Henry, and we've called a couple of Tony. They're not calling us back. I think there's probably some type of severe punishment if you tell things that are going in and out that country. I'm just saying. Oh, someone said nice shirt. Robert, I know, right? I wanted to match the background. Look. Bam! 1980s. Hi, everyone. Hey, Ed. You're always here, Ed. Guthra Legend. Hey, and we have some really cool Muslim friends on here. If any of those Muslim friends want to call, please call. Give us some insight about if you guys are collecting dinar, what you guys feel about like India collecting currency or some other places. I really would like to hear that. Stacy's message was retracted. Okay. So is the Zim done? I think so. The Zim's a pot dream. Use any telltale, but do your own research. I have 2 bankers that will let me know when this goes down. I do business banking with them. I told them, look after me, and I will do the same. Ken, if that's smart, do business with people that want to do business with you. And if for some reason that they're able to give you some inside info, Kenneth, please pass it to me, and I'll pass it to everybody else without your knowing. But, I mean, that would be huge. Where's backing the Zim currency? Air. Guthra, air, nothing. That currency is going to crash as soon as it's taken off of sanctions. That currency is going to crumble. It's worthless. Zimbabwe wallpaper. You know what I'm using the Zimbabwe notes for? I'm using them for a life lesson. After the Iraqi Dinar goes, I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put a Zim note in every room of every home that I own. And I'm going to put that as a reminder that sometimes you fail and sometimes you win. The wall represents the win. The Zim note represents the fail. But you know what? If I didn't try, I couldn't fail. Zim taught me a huge lesson about my thought process and how for my further thought processes for future currencies is going to go. I'm not going to base it upon the Zim kind of bond note theology that I learned from these people that knew nothing about currency, based upon a pipe dream called a bond note. Oh, yeah, there's several currencies that are meant to revalue. Now, revalue at the same time? No. But in that IMF paperwork that I've gotten about countries, I believe it would take Mr. Fraser and probably Mary Lee to tell you, I believe there's 38 countries that they were looking at that could revalue their currency. So that idea of there's a bunch of current. Now, is that a global reset? I don't think so. I think what they're kind of understanding is that they need to raise their value or lower their values based upon some ideologies and some benchmarks they set place that are going to come true later on. I will take a 1-to-1. Mojo, you were just saying it wasn't going to happen, bro. Now you're saying a 1-to-1? Come on, man. Let's stay consistent. MLK, Martin Luther King. Yeah, Sean. It was a shoebox investment from the start. And anybody that told you that they were going to revalue this time or that time, they couldn't. They were under sanctions for all these other countries. They just got lifted a year ago. There's no way it could revalue or sustain it. It'd be like just like Zimbabwe. It'd revalue, but you couldn't exchange it. Maliki's a joke. How many times has this been called? I've never called it, Mojo. Mojo, are you going to call me or what? Babe, just remove Mojo. He's full of crap. He's a fan. Mute him. All bark, no bite, no conversation. Sell your Zim. Yeah, I'm going to sell mine. Zim lopped. Okay, yeah, Stu. What I meant by lopped is this. So instead of them taking the Zim notes that were in existence and saying they're going to reinstate that currency, they started a whole new currency, which you see now on the UN exchange rates, and that is a lop. They eliminated the currency that was in the hands, started a new currency, and that's the currency that holds a value. That's a lop. Good morning, I Creole, the food verb. I love your name. I'm a foodie too. Yeah, it is crawfish season. Anybody want some of them old mud bugs? I do. Mojo. Let's see what he said, though, babe. What about miners? Miners can exchange currency, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to have Jan on here again. I'm going to have Jan on here in the next 2 weeks. I'm also going to have Robert and Ben from Matrix on here talk to you guys. I want you guys to have the best possible investment portfolios devised by the smartest people that I can meet. And so I'm going to definitely introduce you guys to those guys and let you guys talk to them. See Manuel Macadina, Brendan. Sylvia, I'll check him out. I don't see him on here, though. My eyes, Scott. Thumbs up. Prophecy for Zim. I mean, so far the prophecy for Zim has been lop, change, never happened. I love it. I have it. I have Zim. I'll give it away as a giveaway if you guys want to. This guy's getting removed. You're removed. I removed you, Mojo. You're getting on my nerves. You're a waste of everybody's time. Yeah, Metroid. That's a good point. You work at a hospital and don't know anything about drugs. That's the truth, isn't it? Yeah, he ain't gonna call, babe. I removed him. He's a lot of talk. Yeah, he's a troll. A lot of talk, no action, no conversation, and no intelligence about his investment. Besides, it ain't going to happen. Well, Mojo, get the hell out of here. Wimp. Hey, Casey. Yeah, Robert, there is word from George. There's I wish George or maybe Babe could post up the information we could get you guys. You know what I mean? Robert, I like the background too. Some guy said he didn't, and I just removed him. I told him to GTOFH. Gold or no gold? Yeah, Miss BB's got to pick it. There, she's got to pick it. It's no gold because Basil got set off for like 3 years. Now Pimpa is gonna kill me. That's why I won't let him call. He's gonna kill me. He's such a big gold guy. I'm a big asset bet guy. So gold or no gold? So far, it's no gold. I'm up 1-0. Sorry, Pimpa, and don't you text me either. Of the whole land of Africa, backed by all assets, then don't sell it. 13 years in, hold it. And I can't argue. Y'all listen, this is all opinion based. So at this point, this is kind of a rant, but I'm just telling you, I don't believe in this anymore. After they lopped it this last time, I think it's crap. But if you guys believe in it, I'm with you, okay? I'm not going to sell it. I mean, I'm going to told you I'm going to keep it. But I'm going to keep it what my purpose is for. Suki. April 23rd, dollar bill. Yep, we're still on time. Oh, God. But he's alive. He's live. Oh, he's such a wimp. Do you believe? I believe you won't call me because you're a wimp. She used the words. Yes, woke, you're right. Christina did use the words level playing field. She did. The world is going to have to, at some point, get on a one-to-one par, especially in the information for trade. They are. If the world's going to have a bounty and be able to eat off each other, trade's going to be a major part of that. And being able to import and export is going to have to be able to be at a one-to-one. Now, I think because of capitalism and greed, it won't happen to a lot of things, but it will. Will I have a rant tomorrow? Please do. Give me a reason to be here at work. Alonzo, I'll be out of town, but if you guys want, I'll take my iPad with me, and I'll do a rant tomorrow. Kim Clement, okay. Kim Clement and others have prophesied about Dinar, so I'm standing firm. I don't play with God at all. I'm not going to ever say nothing against a godly man. He believed in God wholeheartedly and gave and died and ended his life. He was a godly person, and I will never say nothing bad against Kim Clement. God rest the dead, and God rest his soul. Amen. Please, shalom and blessings to his family and to his people. Okay, I have nothing bad to say against any godly person. Maybe he's Benny's alien. I don't know. Benny, poor Benny. He's just out there. Is he still charging $10 to talk to aliens? You can smoke DMT for less. Mojo left. Oh, yeah. Go figure. I know. Mojo erased all his messages because he's what you call a hater and a troll. All hate, no talk. I love people like that. Oh, Miss BB's here. He's a new Anthony Weiner. Yeah, right. He's a pedophile. You guys are bad. That's why I roast these haters. I don't care. People say, you give too much energy to them. No, I don't. I call them out and call them to the carpet. Don't run from a fight. Bring the fight to them. You guys hear Daisy? She's down there going crazy. Mama's home. Where's Pim Pim? Hey, there's Pim Pim. Hey, Pim Pim. She's down there asking Daisy if I fed her. Okay, guys. Well, we're 45 minutes in. I've read all the comments. She's down there teasing Daisy and telling her I didn't feed her. I didn't give her turkey. April makes Daisy turkey every day. Round up turkey. Anyway, you guys don't want to hear about that. I know boom boxes were cool. Yeah, y'all, I think tomorrow I will do a rant where we are. You know what I mean? We'll do something, okay? I think right now, because it's about your lunch hour, and if you guys are sitting at your desk, you've had a good time, but I think right now you guys probably are tired of me. I've talked about the news. I've told you everything I know. If I hear anything else, I will let you know. But I have got to get ready to get on a plane, and you guys have got to get ready for the rest of your day. I want to tell you guys, each and every one of you, thank you so much for tuning in. You can find me on Mr. YouTube or Mr. Brando YouTube on Twitter. You can find me at Mr._Brando at Instagram. And those are two places we like to tweet out. On Facebook, we are Mr. Brando's fan page. Smash the like button if you like what you hear, and if you don't like what you hear, smash that like button. But either way, you got the news, okay? I love each and every one of you guys that are supportive and positive and stay within this. And if you have an intelligent conversation about this, and even if we disagree, we can talk about it. But if all you want to talk about is it's not going to be this or it's not going to do that, would you please call me and let me know? What someone's saying something. Your way of thinking about the Zim is correct. If okay, well, you can show 3 haters foreign currency that wouldn't have a clue. That's right. I could show haters about gold and they wouldn't understand it. You guys, I've got to run. You guys are awesome. Have a great day. And remember, a hater's a fan in disguise. So encourage your haters until you get tired of them and then block them and get rid of them. Unless they're going to talk about it. And if you're going to talk about it, call me. You guys have an awesome day and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on the rant. Be blessed and stay kind to each other. There's a lot of hate out there. And I don't want you guys to be successful in negative influence of others. God bless you and have a great day.